This beautiful baby girl is 11-month-old Ruby Lou. Although she may appear normal in many ways, she was born with cystic fibrosis, a genetic disease that makes her life anything but normal. Cystic fibrosis is the most common fatal genetic disease affecting Canadian children and young adults. In the lungs, a buildup of mucus makes it difficult to clear bacteria, leading to infection and damaged lung tissue. Dean and Debbie Robinson take their daughter to Vancouver Children's Hospital for regular treatments, but there is no cure.
And they said, well, we think we know why your daughter's not gaining weight. It's because she has cystic fibrosis. And not much more was said about what cystic fibrosis is. It was just told to us that it's a treatable disease. So we went home and just Googled it. And the first thing that we see is a person with a mask on, and that cystic fibrosis is a fatal disease. And we were just, okay, now we have to find out everything about cystic fibrosis that we can, and raise money to find a cure. We want a cure right away. So 1 in 25 people are carriers of the gene of cystic fibrosis. And then if they get together, there's a 1 in 4 chance that their child is going to have cystic fibrosis.
It's a progressive disease, and the more she gets sick, then the worse it gets. And when she picks up germs, picks up a cold or a flu or any kind of bad bacteria, that with normal people, we're able to get rid of it on our own. People with CF can't, right? So that's, yeah, probably the most frustrating thing is it's hard for people to understand, because she doesn't look like she's sick. And the reason why she is healthy is because of all the daily treatments that she's been getting, and percussions on her chest, and it's 3 different positions every time, and then it's followed vibration to loosen the mucus and break it up out of her system.
This therapy is done several times a day by the parents. Sanitation is critical, and Ruby Lou's surroundings must be kept spotless.
And probably the biggest difference for her than other babies is that she can't play with other babies because of the risk of her picking up germs from other kids.
No one can have a sickness or cold that we go and visit. Little baby crawling around, she likes to get into things, but we have to make sure that she doesn't put anything into her mouth, and make sure that she's not around anybody, or that we're not around anybody that's sick. And if we are, we take off our clothes as soon as we get in the house, and wash our hands every time we touch her. And if she does get a germ, and it doesn't have to be a cold germ, it could be any type of germ, actually rotten onions, if you can believe. She can't be around rotten onions because there's a germ in a rotten onion that could cause her permanent lung damage.
The hardest thing to deal with is, you have the excitement of having a child, and then you're faced with the news of this disease, and one of the first things that you read about it is, it's such a short life expectancy, right? And only half of the people, if they're lucky, will make it through their late 30s, early 40s. The other half will unfortunately die in childhood or in their teenage years, right, because of infections and eventually lung failure.
Digestion is also affected by cystic fibrosis. Ruby Lou gets special enzymes and supplements with every meal or snack.
Every time she eats, she has to take digestive enzymes so that she can absorb all the nutrients in her food.
A lot of people have said, so is she going to grow out of it, when she gets older? But unfortunately, it works the other way. It gets worse. So it is a really long haul. Right now she's healthy, which is great. But we never know when she might get an infection. So we just try to do what we have to do.
She's got to live with it. She's got to do everything that she needs every day to keep herself healthy and keep herself alive. So a cure has to happen. Like I say, nobody wants to think of their child dying before they do. And, the thing about CF is not only is their life expectancy shortened, but every single day of their life, they're basically fighting to stay alive. But yeah, that's the reason why she looks as good as she does, is because of all the work that's been put in every day to keep her healthy. whatever you can do is much appreciated, and the research is making huge progress, but the research can't continue without funding.